What's good with y'all? Just it's your boy White Fang. I'm in the building. I'm in the booth. Hey man, returning with the video. And today, as you can see by the title, we got a lot of things to discuss when it comes to Sparking Zero. And I know I've been away for a while, but I'll get more into that maybe later towards the end of the video. But man, we got a lot of things to talk about. A lot happening with Sparking Zero. I'm excited for. But before I go ahead and get into it, just want to recommend subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Now also leave a comment, tell me your thoughts and opinions on what I had to say, your thoughts and opinions on the DLC in general or total. But without further ado, hey man, let's get into it. So bro, I'm excited for this DLC. I just want to start off the video saying like as much positive stuff as I can about Sparking Zero, because I know there's this, I guess, niche side of this community when it comes to Sparking Zero that I think that a lot of players just complain and Sparking Zero get unnecessary hate. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's unnecessary hate. I just think it's a lot of fair criticisms. But I do think that this DLC is a plus, and a lot of things that we're getting, I'm excited for. But it's some things that do concern me when it comes to this DLC that I don't really see many people talking about, because for the most part, when it comes to anime gaming or the anime gaming community and a lot of its content creators, when it comes to talking about things in the space, they usually try to paint a positive outlook on the content that we get. And I don't think it's fair that that's the only side of things that we look at, especially when this is going to be a paid DLC. But all the characters that we're getting is great. A lot of them are characters that were in the original Tenkaichi games, or in Tenkaichi 3, the previous game before Sparking Zero. And also, they're adding characters that we never had before. So for us to get GT Vegeta and GT Trunks and Chilai and Jocko and Mighty Mask, those are great additions to the game, and that's what makes a Tenkaichi game a Tenkaichi game. It's essentially you putting characters that you would have thought never would be playable in any Dragon Ball game. So the fact that we're getting them is great, but there is something that does worry me. But before I get to that, I just want to talk about the stages that we're getting. I think the stage selection was great. I don't think that the amount of stages that Sparking Zero released with was a problem. I really think it was more so the stages that we got that was a problem. Because if I'm not mistaken, Sparking Zero released with 12 stages, and that's fine if you have a game with, a certain amount of stages or not a lot. That's fine. But I feel like for a Dragon Ball game, if you're going to do 12 stages, at least do 12 unique stages, like 12 fan favorites. Like with Raging Blast, for example, Raging Blast 2, they made sure to include, the Glacier stage, and they had the Arpeolago, whatever it's called, that stage. They had made sure to include fan favorites. They had Hell. So when you do a game that has a small amount of stages, and I think Raging Blast 2 only had about 13 stages maybe, but they made sure that these stages were unique and fun to play on. But when it comes to Sparking Zero, a lot of the stages in Sparking Zero are not fun to play. World Tournament, without, the crowd being there, or with the crowd being there, I should say, it's terrible to play on. Like when you're in that enclosed space, it's terrible to play on because you're so restricted. And it's like when you knock an enemy away, they can roll off the wall and certain combos drop. It's just not a fun experience. Even in the Rocky Land, when you're fighting there, same thing happens. There's so many rocks and everything everywhere that you're doing a combo, the combo drops because they hit the rock, which is, I don't know, the game treats it like a wall, and there's just certain issues. So I just think that when it comes to Dragon Ball games, if you want to have stage destruction like that, because some people, argue that, oh, that's a cool feature, it's cool, it's so immersive. No, I do agree, but then you have to have clean stages to play on, so you don't have the frame rate drops or the lag when it comes to playing online and things like that. You need to have the clean stages that don't have to render as much. So, for example, people love playing at the Hyperbolic Time Chamber because there's not much to render. People love playing at the Cell Games arena because there's not much to render, and same goes for the Supreme Car World. So for them to add stages like Kame's house, which I guess is mostly just water, and then you have the house in the middle, I don't think that's going to cause issues online. And then you have the space stages. We got Earth, atmosphere playing in those space stages. It looks like the asteroids within that stage will actually be interactable, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have Planet Vegeta, of course, which I think it's pretty cool. That's probably going to be the stage that I play at the most, a stage that I want in the game since day one. And then we also have the Glacier stage, which is basically rocky land. It looks like recolored, but actually no, they instead of just doing rocky land recolored, they actually put water underneath, which is pretty cool. I hope that maybe that stage has a stage transition to where, like in the Broly movie, if you throw a big energy ball and it hits the ground, it blows up and it becomes like the lava looking setting. But I guess that would technically have to be a separate stage too, so I don't think you could do that. But I do hope they at least give you different times of day for each stage. So a different time of day for Kami's house, a different time of day for Glacier and all the other stages. Well, you can't do a different time of day for space, but for Kami's house and the Glacier stage, I hope we do get different times of day. And I know I said that I had concerns when it comes to the characters that they added. Now, as far as the list of characters go, I know we still have a few more characters to be revealed. If I'm not mistaken, we only got 28 characters that were revealed so far. And I know they said 30 plus characters. And I don't know what other characters could be. I'm going to theorize more later so in the video. But there is something that concerns me when it comes to Sparking Zero and the DLC. Now, these characters are great additions to the game. I'm somebody that used the entire roster. I like playing with every character. I like playing with Rosie, Kunkunsa. I like playing with Kid Goku, even though he's trash. And I will go on rank and use these characters for fun. Because I think the weaker characters, I don't know, they offer something special, I guess, or it just feels like a breath of fresh air to use them in rank because you hardly ever see them. So I try to find unique things with them and try to play with them in ways that other people may not play with other characters. And I know there's Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball as a whole. So just to use every character in the universe just feels fun. Or on the roster, I should say, it just feels fun and keeps the game fresh to me. But there's an issue. With Spark and Zero, that's not the case because every character, for the most part, feels a lot alike. Now, I know you're going to have some people that say, well, that's Tenkaichi. That's Tenkaichi. No, that's not Tenkaichi. If you ever played and truly played a Tenkaichi game, every character may have your generic little energy blast, right? That's true. But when it comes to their animations and how they're actually fighting, they don't fight like every other character. For example, Spopovich and Android 13 have the same grand not grand well yeah they do have the same grand slash animation. They also have the same heavy finish animation, and they also have the same rolling hammer animation. So when I say copied and paste, that's what I mean. So why would I play Android 13 when I can just literally play Spopovich? And Android 13, Super 13, I should say, I gotta be specific. Super 13 doesn't have the best supers in the game. I mean, he has Explosive Wave, and Spopovich doesn't have the best supers in this game either way. And landing supers in this game is super hard because everything's so easily vanishable. But my whole point is, instead of going on a tangent, my whole point is that a lot of things in this game, and if you hear notifications in the background, I apologize. That's my computer updating and doing a little stuff. But yeah, my whole point essentially with this DLC is that a lot of these characters feel so unique in Tenkaichi 3, and I'll do my best to put gameplay of them in the video as we speak. They have their own flying kick animations. They have their own heavy finish animations that's ripped right from the show. They have their own grand slash animations, and having this in the game makes the character feel more unique, thus making you want to play each character more to see what else unique about them that you can find. Now, Sparking Zero doesn't have as much tech or depth, I should say, as Tenkaichi 3, but Sparking Zero does have its, its skill gap. It's a very low ceiling, but it does have a competitive side. And I'm not saying Sparking Zero has to be competitive. Even for people that play offline, they're going to get tired of using necessarily, let's say, Nova Shenron if he fights just like Omega Shenron. It's like, why would I need to play with Nova Shenron when I just play with Omega Shenron? And then, of course, they're going to do the supers and do the ultimate. It may look pretty because, Sparking Zero is a great looking game. But how long does that keep somebody occupied? Not long. But if you have unique animations where it's like, oh, I seen that from the show, I wonder what else combos I do that's unique to him. So they start exploring the character even more, and then also while doing that, they learn the game even more, right? So if they're playing with characters and seeing unique animations, or like their flying kicks are different, I wonder, since their flying kicks are different, do they have a different hitbox? Can I combo this into this? Like, it starts to open the door for more playtime, and that's my essential problem with this DLC, is that That's what we need. We need all these characters to play unique and have their own unique animations so it can retain the player base that it attracts. That's really one of the main things that I want for this game. And I will talk about the other gameplay mechanic changes that we see. I'm going to talk about that as well. But I just want to focus on the characters because I don't really see many people talking about this. And this is a huge issue when it comes to Sparking Zero and itself. And I wish that it would change. Like, for example, Team Gohan. Team Gohan is one of the most beautiful characters in Tenkaichi 3, Tenkaichi 2, and in Raging Blast because he fights like a blade. Like, he spins around and punches and kicks while he fights. Again, I'm going to do my best to put this on the screen for you to see for yourself how he fights in Tenkaichi and Raging Blast. And in Sparking Zero, all of that is gone. The closest thing that we have to that is Beast Gohan, but Beast Gohan doesn't spin when he fights. He fights very fast, and he has cool animations unique to him. But with Team Gohan, it's like we don't have that, and it's so like annoying. Like, that was one of the things that people were looking to the most when it came to Team Gohan. I remember when he was going to be revealed, and they just completely removed all his sauce. It was just like, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? Why? And it's so annoying that a lot of characters are like that, bro. A lot of characters. So hopefully Nova Shenron has his unique flying kicks that he has in BT3, and he has his unique Ki Blast. One thing that Tenkaichi 3 did that I wish returned to this game is the different type of Ki Blast that you had in that game. So you had your standard Ki Blast that was just like the Ki Blast that you see in Sparking Zero. It's just like a yellow beam of energy. And then you had, for example, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. When he shot a Ki Blast, it looked like electricity. Like, the Ki Blast looked electric. It was pretty cool. It's yellow, but it had this aesthetic to it that made it look like, okay, he's so strong that his Ki Blast looked like, I don't know, like electricity, like yellow electricity. And then you had Nova Shenron and Demon King Dabura. When they shot their Ki Blast, it was like fire, it looked the same as Super Saiyan 3 Goku's electric Ki Blast, but like with a fiery color instead. And we don't have that in Sparking Zero. All they do is just change the Ki Blast color, which I think is trash. I don't like that. It's lazy, it's boring, and it makes things less interesting. And I think that if you add these niche little details to the character, people will start to appreciate them more and want to see what other characters have to offer. There's this YouTuber that does essentially key details to every like Dragon Ball game, right? He tries to go in depth. I think his name is Kaze Daze or something like that. He goes in depth and explore the different things that all these Dragon Ball games where the developers went above and beyond to add little niche details to make it interesting, or just to appease to the, true Dragon Ball fans, to the fan base. And I think Sparking Zero is missing a lot of that when it comes to the characters in game. Like, the mechanics have a lot of that, have some of that stuff returned, and like the little details in the stages and stuff, yes. But when it comes to character per character, a lot of that stuff is missing, and I just wish that we would have it back. And yeah, I'm not even saying anything about gameplay mechanics. I'm just saying how these characters fight. I don't want them to be a copy. For example, I don't want Champa to be a copy and paste version of Beerus. I don't want Health Fighter 17 to be a copy and paste of Android 17 or Super 17, like the DBS 17. I want these characters to be unique. I don't want Oob to just fight like older Oob, because if that's the point, why even add these characters when I can just go play with the other one? That's my whole point. But I talked about that enough. If you got my point or got the gist of what I'm trying to say, that's essentially my whole point. Like I said, again, these characters even returning is great. I just want them to remain how they were in Tenkaichi 3, because Tenkaichi 3 handled them the best. Even Xenoverse handled, let's say, GT Vegeta. I don't want GT Vegeta just play like every other Vegeta in the game. Like, even Xenoverse, when it comes to GT Vegeta, they made sure he played very unique from every other Vegeta in the game. And that's all that I want. Because I don't want to pick up GT Vegeta and he just feels like baby Vegeta, or he just feels like fucking End Vegeta. Like, that's just boring. Like, okay, I'll just go play with that Vegeta then. Like, his supers are basically going to be the same. So just make him have unique strings, flying kicks, heavy finish animations. Give me little details and Easter eggs from the show when I fight with him. That's all I want. Yeah, moving on, man. Moving on to the gameplay change. So there is this gameplay change that I seen where you essentially knock someone back and then you can swap in and fire a Ki Blast or a super attack with a character. Now, I do think that's cool. It's very Tenkaichi 3-esque that a lot of pro players do that. They fire a beam and then they'll swap out and then do a super to connect it and to whatever character they had and make sure they regain their health and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. It's something that you could also do in Raging Blast 2 if you had access to the quick switch. So I think that is a cool returning detail. My only issue is tenkaichi 3 and Raging Blast 2 seemed, I don't know yet, but it seems as in this case they did it better because you can switch out and you can do whatever you want to do. If you don't want to follow up, you don't have to. You can just switch in, and whatever you want to do is up to you. And I think that's what Sparking Zero needs, is more freedom, right? Because it's a tenkaichi game, and for a tenkaichi game, I feel like you're so restricted in this game. Like in Xenoverse 2, I seen Cyriax make this comparison. When it came to Xenoverse 2, he said he enjoyed Xenoverse 2 a lot more because he felt like more free. And what he meant by that is the movement, right? Because in Sparking Zero, especially inside the stepping barrier, it feels very stiff. Now, this was never the case with Tenkaichi 3 because you can dash through the stepping barrier. The ascent and descent flight was very fast. In Sparking Zero, everything, when you're inside that stepping barrier, everything feels restricted compared to the previous game or maybe any other Dragon Ball fighting game, I should say. The only exception is probably Raging Blast 2. Raging Blast 2 is kind of stiff when it comes to that regard, but that's a whole separate thing because I can argue that it's not, but that's a whole separate thing, and I don't want to get into that right now. But essentially, yeah, so I feel like what he was saying is when it comes to freedom of expression and creativity, Sparking Zero doesn't really offer much of that. And a lot of the players that you see, especially playing at a high level, they really do a lot of the same shit. Now, they will say that they don't and say, well, I don't see nobody else doing this. It's like you're doing the same exact the same exact tech. You're just implementing it in a different way, but the tech that you're doing is still the same. So I mean, I guess you can get creative from that standpoint, but when I say creativity, I just mean allowing players to really do what they want. Not to make the game broken, but allowing players to follow up the moves how they want, combo how they want, and just keeping the game balanced in that aspect. And Tenkaichi 3, I felt like did that great. So instead of having us just swap in and shoot a beam, maybe we can just swap in, and because if you knock somebody away in Sparking Zero, now it's either you knock them back, right? Like when you swap in, the character that you're swapping, they do another smash and you knock them back, or now you have the option of shooting a beam. We know vanishing in this game is very easy unless this is a guaranteed hit, which would be crazy. I don't think it should be, but vanishing beams in Sparking Zero is fairly easy. So what I think they should do is allow players to move after they swap. Like I should have the option to not follow up, just swap in and I can do whatever I want, how I want. And I think that'll be pretty cool. So hopefully that's what it is. If it's not, that's a big disappointment that had their chance to bring a cool mechanic back or a cool feature that Tenkaichi 3 had and return it to this game, because the switching in that game is way better than the switching in this one. And it's a lot of things gameplay wise they need to work on, but I'm not going to get into that. And it looks like they're returning with a song. And before I close off this video, I just want to say this, man. But before I close this video off, I just want to say that for the people out there that are arguing that this stuff shouldn't have been in the base game, and you're like, where is this coming from? Well, this is coming from the community on Twitter. I haven't really seen it in like the YouTube replies. A lot of people agree that this stuff should have been in the base game and agree that Sparking Zero was rushed. For those people on Twitter that say that this content should have been in the base game, I hope you do know that all this stuff was already data mined to be in the game like a month after the game came out. So they had plans to have this stuff in the game. They just didn't have the time for it, which is why they reversed features that were more complex to develop or probably in development but not finished. They reversed features to an earlier build, and then they also cut a lot of this stuff that we were supposed to get in the game and gave us the product that we had on release. So for you guys that are saying that this stuff should have been base game, you're lying. Like this, like you're just lying, my nigga. Like there's no point of even just like what are you talking about? Like I don't know, bro. But for people that's making the argument, this stuff should have been in the base game because we're getting cosmetics, which is something that Tenkaichi 3. Basically, all the stuff that we're getting is stuff that the previous sequel to this game or the prequel to this game had already offered. So what we were asking for should have already been in the game. Like for example, survival mode, and then what was the other game mode that we got? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But the other game mode that we recently got before survival mode, Mission 100, that's what it's called. We should have already had that in the game. Why? Because it existed in the game before this one. It's that simple. But a lot of people just, I don't know, when it comes to Dragon Ball, they just hype anything. But I need you guys to remember as a fan base, bro, we're only going to get what they give us and we accept. So we need to start looking at things from a better lens and really calming down. I know all this stuff is very hype. It is very hype. I'm excited. I'm going to play all of this stuff. I'll do a DLC review when it comes out. But you guys need to calm down. When we get a new announcement, just calm down. Wait till we see the full thing first. And the reason that I say that is because look at what we got when it came to Sparking Zero. Now, if you like Sparking Zero on release, great. But you cannot sit here and say that Sparking Zero was not missing a lot of things. I'm not complaining about this stuff. I love this stuff. I want more of it, honestly. I honestly think we didn't get enough. I want something else to come beyond this. And what that would be is alternate colors, right? In Tenkaichi 3, and I believe in Tenkaichi 2, and in Rage and Blast, we had the ability to, every character had an alternate color to them. So you could have Vegito in black. You could have Super Saiyan 4 Goku with brown fur and black pants. Like, it was just cool. I think that needs to return, and we haven't heard anything about that, and I think that needs to return. And if I want them to do exactly what they did with this DLC, they was like, you know what, instead of bringing back every Tenkaichi 3 character that we didn't have in the base game, we're going to add characters like Super Saiyan Bardock, Chilai, Jocko, Mighty Mask, and I thought that was pretty cool. And they even added costumes that weren't in BT3. So they went above and beyond with returning stuff and made additional stuff. So instead of us just getting alternate colors, have it to where there's a color palette and we can just control what colors that we want people's outfit to be. So if I want Goku with a green gi, very similar to Battle of Z, let us have that. I think that'd be a cool feature. Just let us put whatever color that we want in the characters. I think that'd be cool. If not, then yeah, I guess you could just do the returning feature of making sure that every character has a alternate color, and I'll be satisfied with that, man. And yeah, bro, I think this DLC is great. The price also can determine how great this could be, because again, whether you like it or not, a lot of this stuff should have been in the base game. And if you disagree with that, you're lying. Like, I'm sorry to tell you that you're lying. They are cooking up. They are looking like they're putting some care into this game. I guess now that they're not restricted to the Daima stuff, which is exciting because I want to see what else they can cook up and hopefully make some gameplay changes while they're at it. Maybe gameplay changes. Well, they did make gameplay changes, but I mean, like, you know, as far as other stuff to the game, that if you're in the community, if you know, that has to be a whole separate video if I get into that. But yeah, hopefully, man, they return a lot of the stuff from Tenkaichi 3, because Tenkaichi 3 is just the better game as of right now. I do think Sparking Zero does have the potential, I've always said this, it does have the potential to surpass Tenkaichi 3 when it comes to content and gameplay. But will they do it? I don't know, because Tenkaichi 3 is a game that required a lot of learning, and then in today's age, games seem to be dumbed down for casuals, which is okay. Just try to keep the skill ceiling at least at a moderate level for the rest of us guys that like to, you know, get good at video games, because when you get good, you win more, and winning more is fun. So if you play a game and you're winning, you're having fun. That's my argument, at least, for that. But before I wrap up the video, man, just give me an additional maybe minute and a half of your time. I just want to say, I know I've been gone for more than a few months. I've been gone for a while, but I am going to be returning with content. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to record another video right after this about another Dragon Ball game that got announced, so look forward to that. I'm going to be covering Harry Potter again, because we got another announcement for that. And essentially what I'll be doing is a channel trailer. So for those that may not know what this channel necessarily offers or is about, I'll definitely be letting that be known in the channel trailer, and letting you know maybe why I've been gone and stuff like that, and what you can look forward to when it comes to this channel. So just be on the lookout for the channel trailer. That's going to be another video that I work on. It won't be like a long video or anything like that, but it's definitely going to be a video that lets you know where I've been and what I've been doing and why I've been missing and things like that. But overall, excited for Sparking Zero to return with some stuff. Hopefully it can increase and retain a certain amount of players that it attracts with this DLC. It looks like they're revamping the whole thing with Sparking Zero Neo, which is what the Meteor Neo, I think is being called, is what the Tenkaichi 2 game was called. So maybe with the next overhaul update, they'll call it Sparking Meteor, which was the Japanese name for Tenkaichi 3. So all in all, I'm excited for this. This is a W. Please don't misconstrue my words. This is a W. I love this DLC so far. I just hope that I can continue to love it when it's in my hands and I'm playing these characters and they don't just all feel the same. But hey, man, that's going to be it for me. Remember to shoot for the stars. It's been your boy DBZ White Fang, or White Fang. and I'm out.